I was missing gravy though. That's what I definitely. Homemade. We had mashed potatoes on Friday, but there was no gravy, and I like gravy because I'll put it on my turkey too.
Yeah. So what do you do with the backbone when you spatchcock? Just put it in a roasting pan with with vegetables, and then put it in water and let that heat for a while, and then you got stock, and then you make make out of that.
Yeah, I've never really have done it, so maybe next year.
I know I said like you just do this, but that's like 10 steps.
Yeah,
it is. It's a pain in the ass.
I feel like I had other stuff going on that day.
Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are the world's most boring humans, Martin and Brady.
I don't interest myself in why. I think more often in terms of when. Sometimes where. Always how much.
You know, I could have been in the NSA, but they found out my parents were married.
This week, we couldn't shake that feeling that there was more to Robert Redford's history when it comes to covert ops. So we did what anyone else would do and went back and watched two of his earlier movies in 3 Days of the Condor and Sneakers. Is it possible we've watched a trilogy?
This is my question to you guys.
What, you think they're all connected in some way?
I think...
Or he got pigeonholed?
I should say, obviously referencing Spy Game that we watched. So we watched the most recent of the three already. I can connect the dots. I think I can draw a line that isn't far from straight.
Yeah, I love this kind of shit. Like, I think it is great. Like, I think that Robert Redford got these roles, and people wrote these movies and made these movies because of 3 Days of the Condor. Like, they're like they place that.
Well, that would make sense. That was the first of these. But I mean, I think I talked a little bit about this when we were talking about Spy Game. I've thought about a little bit more about it. Is Robert Redford a good actor?
I like him. I really like him.
That's not my question.
I know. That's why I said it. I really like him. I don't know how great of an actor he is, but I really enjoy him on the screen. And it was solidified after this.
The follow-up would be he's considered a good actor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is he?
I don't think he's.
I
know you don't think
devil?
The awards are the. Yeah, I mean he's very charismatic, and I don't know how great of an actor he is. Like, the Sneakers has some goofiness to it. He's not bad.
Agreed. I
don't think he's great.
I'm not even railing against him. I did a little bit. I guess in Spy Game, questioning it, but I hadn't seen either of these movies, by the way. So these were my first time with both, and I'm pretty sure I watched him be the same person in all three movies.
Yeah, even down to the way like he held the gun.
They're just
in 3 Days of the Condor and in Sneakers, like he was holding the gun the same way, and I'm just like, yeah, it's
his mannerisms and just I don't know. I like I said, I think I could draw a line that's not far from straight through all three of these.
He just keeps changing his identity, right?
And
He's
like
Martin
30
Bryce,
years.
he's Martin Bishop, he's Condor.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of not only the through lines between these three movies, but even some of the newer stuff that he's done. Like, the one movie that I think plays off of 3 Days of the Condor is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Well, you're 100% right.
Like, you can feel like it's almost the same story, right? Except you take Steve Rogers and put him in the Robert Redford role.
That's it. I read this film inspired the story structure for that movie.
Yeah,
is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch that one again. I remember it being good, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
and it's all about like the shadow.
I would like to rewatch it now after actually seeing this, because I would have never known that, obviously. But if there's any connection at all, and did you pull that organically, like just from your thoughts thinking about?
I had heard that they went for some of that, but it reaffirmed it after I saw this. The other show that I don't know if you ever watched, Martin, but I know Brady did, was Rubicon.
No, I never watched it,
and it was very similar to
AMC.
Like this.
Johnny and I were the only two.
I know of it, and I saw and it looked like it was something I would like. Who was the main actor in it? Is it the guy from Singles? that we saw? Is
Oh,
it Campbell
no.
Scott?
No, I don't think so.
James Badge Dale.
Yes.
Oh,
is the
okay.
guy.
James Badge Dale is.
He did,
God,
actually, he
great
kind of looks
call
like
on
the
that,
guy I
man.
was talking about, so that's why I thought it was Campbell Scott. But
Yeah.
okay,
But very similar to like, hey, they're researchers. You know, they do all. Like,
CIA.
they never
Or-
said what agency they were.
Yeah, they didn't get there.
But
Okay.
very much like, hey, we're on the periphery. Like
Right.
we just do like the words and we find like the patterns and things like that.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And AMC shows are always
Like I
usually
said,
pretty good.
we were the two, I think.
Two out of maybe the three people that
Yeah,
watched
it didn't have
take.
a long life. But we seem to enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
And so for what it's worth,
Yeah, it's worth a lot.
you probably
It's
would have been with
worth
us.
highly, yeah, right.
So I will say I kind of liked these movies.
All right, that's a ringing endorsement because I knew the 75 is it
75
75 was
days.
going to be a hard one, and I didn't really like it the first time I watched this movie because I don't know, I was expecting it to be. I think I had heard that it was this great movie, and you guys remember when I picked Out of Sight for my heist movie. Like, I love Out of Sight, it's one of my favorite movies, and he references 3 Days of the Condor in his they're talking about movies in the trunk.
Sure.
It's George Clooney, and you guys probably remember, and J-Lo, yeah. And he's saying, she says, I always thought it was unbelievable how quickly they got together. So I'm like, I have to watch this movie. I got to do my homework and see what they're talking about and see what they mean. And then I just, when I watched it in high school, 3 Days of the Condor just seemed old and not good. But something about it this time watching it, I loved it. I think I woke up early on like the day before Thanksgiving. I had nothing to do, and I was just watching these classic. Like, I used to love doing that, watching classic movies like around the holidays, and it just it felt, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you felt the same or if it was just not, if it was too old for you as well, Jelani.
No, I liked it. I like this type of movie where it's like you're trying to figure out who knows what and who's pulling the strings, and he's trying to, play off of, both Cliff Robertson and Max von Sydow, and trying to figure out like who should I trust, who should I not trust. Another movie that I got a lot of feeling from this movie that I feel like pulled from it is The Bourne Identity, the first one. Like, it felt very similar to that. Like, Jason Bourne's coming in, he's part of a group, but he doesn't know like who to trust. He doesn't remember who he is.
Absolutely.
He finds this woman to help him, and she's like,
that's a good call.
should I trust him at all? And,
Yeah.
and then she kind of just starts.
I watched that
following in this scene.
with Colin over the weekend too. I don't know, and I didn't even make the connection. It was just something I was going through, and I'm like, you might enjoy this. It's PG-13. I'm like, and he did. He enjoyed it, and then I thought about it. And I'm like, yeah, it's absolutely in line with this. And yeah, I think 3 Days of the Condor is very much the CIA Bourne Identity kind of like, it's a template, it's a blueprint for that type of movie, down to like when they did that phone tracing scene, and and he strings the phones together. I'm like, how many times has that been done? And I'm like, is this the first? Was this the movie that came from? And like, ever since, you've seen it countless times.
I think it very well might have been.
It very well might be, yeah. So I think there's a lot like all those new spy movies that we probably like and have watched probably owe a lot to this. Directed by Sidney Pollack.
Yeah, so I
kind of forgot that.
I saw. I caught my eye right out of the gate. I saw a note saying one of the 7 pictures that Sidney Pollack made with Robert Redford. So, to my 2 friends who know, especially older movies, better than me, I was curious if you guys had ideas on or guesses on any.
Decent Proposal?
No.
I didn't even know. We talked about it last week. I didn't know Robert Redford made 7 movies. I didn't know Sidney Pollack made 7 movies.
Yeah, well, 4 of them were in the 70s. This one included. So the first one was The Property is Condemned in 1966.
Never even heard of it.
Me neither. The second one I've heard is Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think most people at least are conscious that Robert Redford made, whether you knew Pollack did or not. The Way We Were.
Yep.
In 73.
That's Streisand, right?
Yeah, this one, 75. The Electric Horseman in 79.
I've heard of it, I feel.
Out of Africa in 85 with Streep. Mm-hmm. And Havana in 1990, which I was unfamiliar with.
No. Yeah. Most, like, 4 out of those I haven't even heard of.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of most of them, believe me.
But
I haven't seen any of them.
I like him as an actor, and I thought I did as a director, but there's lots of movies and for me that I hadn't even seen any of those or whatever. Right. I probably should go back and watch. I bet some of them are good. But yeah, he did The Firm as well.
Yes, which I saw. Yeah, The Firm. It's funny. I saw another note that this film was referenced ironically in Grisham's book, The Pelican Brief.
Oh, okay.
It's listed as the favorite movie of the world's most deadly assassin, who's like an Egyptian-born man who learned English mainly by watching hundreds of films. Mm-hmm. And the assassin notes how it took several viewings to figure out the Condor storyline, and then adds that he once had a chance to kill Redford himself, just as a throwaway line. But that was all. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So, yeah, nice. You throw that, The Firm, and this. There's a Grisham connection to this.
Did you guys recognize Cliff Robertson?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I mean, I know the name, and I know, but what do you know him from?
So I know him from the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
He's Uncle Ben.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
And then I also, like, in this, I viewed him as, like, the bargain version of Harvey Keitel. We couldn't get Harvey Keitel, but how about Cliff Robertson? Yeah, that'll work.
So I saw that all but one of the actors in this movie won Oscars. And
news to me.
Redford for Ordinary People, Dunaway for Network, Cliff Robertson for Charlie. Did he play Charlie? I just know
it's Chocolate Factory.
No, it's Flowers for Algernon. You know that story, short story. It's they do experiments and they give him he's low IQ and he becomes a genius and then he slowly degrades back down.
He does play Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. So I've seen that.
Oh yeah, unfamiliar, but and John Houseman for The Paper Chase, and then all the awards were for acting except Redford's too. And then the only one who didn't win was Max von Sydow, who was nominated twice but never won.
For what, Seventh Seal or something?
Pell the Conqueror and Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh, yeah, that was when he was. That was
much more recent.
Yeah, much more recent. Yeah, I read that book.
And then, ironically, from this movie, von Sydow was the only one who won any awards for acting, a lower award, wasn't like an Oscar
at the time.
Yeah. So, but mostly pointing out the cast is pretty impeccably good.
Yeah. I really, really liked Faye Dunaway again. Like, I don't know, we watched her in Chinatown recently. I know you got, and I didn't before. I don't know, it's something like in Chinatown. The first time I watched it, I didn't love her performance, and in this, maybe it was one of the things too. When I watched 3 Days of the Condor first time, I was like, I don't really care for her, but I think she's a really good actress.
Wow,
I thought she was really good.
I saw nothing to
I don't know.
To make me think that.
I don't know what switched it. It's just something about her. She just seemed more believable. Maybe it's just because as an adult, like I could see.
Yeah, you're just like another spy fucker.
It was that kind of stuff, like that. She just kind of
For me, it felt. I don't know what I was. What kind of. I don't know why it would like annoy me or anything, but something that I feel like her character's arc was like really picked up steam fast to where she was like. All the way in. I mean, I guess they were implying that she like fell for him.
Yeah,
but it just I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed more believable to me
at all.
Be like knowing the. I mean, I guess the picture stuff was a little cheesy, but like at least they tried to like flesh out why someone like her would, be excited by this guy that basically abducted her. You know.
Because it's more fun than going cross-country skiing in Vermont. Right. Everybody would agree with that.
With this guy that doesn't really excite you or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, very much so. Born Identity it's a lot like what's her name? Run Lola Run.
Yeah. Franca Ponte.
There you go. Yeah, and same thing with her. Like, why she had a chance to leave a few times, but she's like, no, I'm going to stick around with this guy.
Yeah,
I like Jason Bourne. It's more exciting.
I don't know if I loved Faye Dunaway's role, but I enjoyed it. Like, I liked the fact that like she stuck around, and then you could see as she kind of got into it, like especially when they followed Cliff Robinson to the deli and like then it was like taking the sandwich. Like, is she gonna eat that for later?
I know.
Like,
That's what I thought. I thought she was gonna take a bite out of it, which would have been funny. Terrible lovemaking scene though. It was really bad. Like Sidney Pollack, good director, but I don't know, it's just because it's 70s or something, but it was not good.
Yeah.
We were laughing at the jump cuts and the quick jerky moves. We're like, oh, what is this?
It was off-putting.
Things have been done a touch better since that point.
Yeah.
It's not hard to realize. Yeah, but did you guys notice at the end towards the end of the movie, the Condor says, "What is it with you people? You think not being caught in a lie is the same as telling the truth?"
That's a good line.
Oh, well, we've heard it before.
We have?
It's in Michael Clayton as well.
Oh.
And I feel like there's a chance when we talk about Michael Clayton that it was maybe we didn't talk about it, but I think I remember seeing a line referencing that it was in this other movie that I hadn't seen. So
is that because Sidney Pollack's in Michael Clayton?
Could be.
All right, I forgot that he is. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very, like I said when we talked about November movies, like this is a very foundational movie, I think, to a lot of things that came after it. So yeah, it's good to.
And I think you're onto that. I mean, I think as you pointed out initially, I think it's not far fetched to get how
influential it is.
And things would have jumped from this, and they're like, oh, we can do that and take it and make it better.
Kind of like Die Hard, like. Die Hard became the template for the one man action movies. Speed is Die Hard on a bus. That whole thing. Like you could say, like, oh, it's like Theaters of the Condor, except blah blah blah. The little change.
That's the elevator pitch.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's the elevator pitch exactly. Yeah. Except better lovemaking scenes. It's like 3 Days of the Condor, but sexier.
Not hard
so
to do.
You mean not sexy?
They just kiss and it's done.
It's like, yeah, he's like, I didn't rape you.
Yeah, right.
I was like, what?
Yeah, there was I don't know if that was something that was going on in the 70s where that was a common thing, because that came up
I
twice,
just wasn't.
didn't
I
it?
was like I think I was like typing, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? Is this what we're insinuating?
We watched 3 Days of the Condor, and then we move on to Sneakers, where Robert Redford's back and being the spy.
Jump forward 17 years to part 2 of the trilogy.
I like this. I had fun. I thought it was.
I like this one a lot.
You guys
more.
have seen it before?
I've seen
you
it.
have.
And I own it.
Yeah, and I know you
not.
said you hadn't. Yeah, I loved this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of nostalgia for me watching this again, and it was one of those movies too where
I think I would have liked it as a kid.
Yeah, like I was, I don't know, 11 in '92, or maybe it was 12 when I watched it. It just so yeah, definitely a lot of nostalgia. I remember everything about it. I just thought none of my friends were like, "Oh, have you seen Sneakers?" It was like a movie I thought I discovered, so it always makes you like it more. And then watching it again, it is a little silly at times, and there's definite flaws, and there's definite time. It's just funny seeing little things like voice recognition, like how cutting edge that probably was in '92. It's like my voice is my passport stuff,
right?
And now it's all it's all just done so much better. But the concept of cryptography, I think that was the first time I'd heard of it. So it was all very fascinating to me as a kid. And yeah, I mean, I think it kind of holds up. I mean, it's not as bad as The Net with Sandra Bullock was, like that was trying to be like all future. Yeah, it was that was a terrible movie at the time, and I think everyone jokes about
You're kidding.
how poorly it held up, because it was trying to be ahead of the time on the internet.
And Sandra Bullock was it?
Yeah. Or like Hackers. I used to love Hackers too, but I feel like that one probably
I never saw Hackers.
aged. It's like first.
Is that Angelina Jolie?
Angelina Jolie.
Johnny Lee Miller.
And Johnny Lee Miller. Good pull on the name.
Fisher Stevens.
Is that?
I think he's.
Yeah, he's like the bad guy. Is that the guy that plays Indian in Short Circuit?
Yeah.
Or Short Circuit 2?
Yeah.
The white guy that plays an Indian guy? Yeah.
So, yes, there are silly parts in this. One of them is Ben Kingsley's accent.
Was he trying to do an accent?
I don't know what.
Yeah, it only came out. There's only like 2 times where I'm like, is he trying to do some kind of?
I think the problem
thing?
there is that
Ben Kingsley was not good in this.
Ben Kingsley does a different voice in like every movie, so you almost don't know when he is and isn't trying to do an accent.
Was to say that Ben Kingsley is the weak link in a movie.
Yeah,
he was by far the weakest link.
It's really weird, like that. Yeah, his whole character was. It was like they were trying to make him something that he wasn't, and then somehow Kingsley didn't deliver on that anyway. Maybe because there was nothing there. I don't know, but like, yeah, you have a pretty big talent, and maybe at 92 had he already done Gandhi at that point?
Gandhi was like 81
80
or something
something
like that.
Yeah. So you do have a known commodity.
Oh yeah,
and kind of don't have anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, you had.
It's a
big
great
names.
cast, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you have. I mean,
Redford, Kingsley, Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
Right. Like these are people who are.
So we're putting Redford on the pedestal. That's what we're saying. Just making sure.
I mean,
at the time,
I think he
sure.
sold this movie.
Yeah, and River Phoenix, man.
River. So you had 3 Oscar winners in Redford, Poitier, and Kingsley, and 5 nominees in Aykroyd, David Strathairn.
Straight hair? My boy, straight hair?
Straight hair.
River Phoenix. I think I nailed it. James Earl Jones and Mary McDonald.
And this is definitely my introduction to David.
I think that.
And I love him in this.
I didn't look up
so
his IMDb, but I would bet this was most people's.
Yeah.
And I think he crushed it and probably moved him along well as a result.
And really weird James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Just
cameo
kind
at the end.
Didn't really need to be in the movie.
And it was a little ridiculous, right? Like, they're spotting, and he's like, okay, just give me the box. It's like,
oh, well,
you could have wrote it a little bit better. But
talk about a jumping off point. This felt like a direct line to Armageddon.
Yeah.
Or everyone's getting their wish list of what they want to ask the government for. That's what I was listening to. I'm like, this is Armageddon, but on a early 90s scale.
Wow. And it's again, like I remember everything about that, but watching it again this time, like I think Carl, that was a strong move by River Phoenix.
Power play. I mean,
so you can have anything you want. Just want my number.
I mean, plus
it's classic.
I don't know. She was all right.
She was just all right, but it doesn't matter. The point is that it works.
Oh, the power play worked, and she recognized the game.
Yeah, game recognized game.
Well, you said this was kind of a jumping off point, or you noticed some of the elements that are used in later films, specifically being like the Armageddon wish list. I felt like there were elements that Fight Club pulled from this, Tomorrow Never Dies, Mission Impossible, Live Free or Die Hard. Like
for sure.
Ozark, like
Fight
all
Club and Live Free or Die Hard, like the whole concept of starting at zero, right? Crashing the system, Project Mayhem, that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
The whole like temperature controlled room, and they have to like move at a slow pace.
Mission Impossible for sure.
Mission Impossible play.
Tomorrow Never Dies by like controlling what the media says. Like you have total control over what is being said, what is communicated. Like you're the first, you're the only ones that control the information. And then even like Ben Kingsley's role as the money launderer, setting up all the different accounts for the mob and whatever, and doing all that stuff. So it was just funny because as you're watching, like, oh my gosh, like that's in another movie, that's in another movie, that's another movie. You always have the ragtag team that you're pulling together.
Yeah, it's definitely a heist movie with a group of characters, right?
Right. And then
except they call them sneaks. They're like, oh, we pulled off the greatest sneak, and I'm like, did anyone ever use that?
Are they trying to make? Is that fetch?
I think they were. I think you're trying to make fetch happen. Like nobody calls each other like, sneakers. Isn't a thing.
No,
it's never was a thing, and that's why.
So
we pulled off the best sneak. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah,
it was very.
I don't disagree
too.
with you. I think that's it's pre-fetch. But
so again, it should have been heisters.
I have another jumping off point though. A little. I felt there was this was the beginning of I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to say the music.
Like, pretty much says it, like, minus the shit part, but he's literally like, I'm getting too old for this.
Wasn't Lethal Weapon 80?
Were those?
Was it before?
But that was
88?
No,
the first
it was
one?
like 88 or 89, I think.
But was it the second one when
I thought he mentioned
Glover,
it in the first one.
Yeah, we might
87 is Lethal Weapon.
We might have to do the Lethal Weapons and figure out if that came in the first or the second.
Yeah,
but I thought the soundtrack of this had something. It either reminded me of Lethal Weapon or just a lot of movies from like the early 90s, like something about the saxophone or whatever. The soundtrack of it all sounded very much like other movies I'd seen of the era. It was almost like there were times when it was kind of silly, where maybe it didn't need to be, but it was very reminiscent of a lot of movies I watched in the 90s.
Yeah. They even borrowed the shotgun scene or the vent scene from Die Hard.
Yeah.
When he's like walking through the shotgun and starts shooting and then stops.
There was it was fun like that. There was enough. I liked it for sure. I thought it was better than 3 Days of the Condor. I just felt like it held my attention kind of throughout. It was suspenseful throughout. It was figuring out. I mean, how they were working this all out. Mary McDonnell. They had her involved as she was very. I don't know. They really explained how or why. I kind of just assumed that like she dated Bishop at some point.
Yes.
But like she was pretty hip to the whole like spy scene. I mean, she was lifting wallets, and I'm like, wow, okay. So like, was she in their group and not? And I don't know that part, but
yeah, she was going to leave, and then all of a sudden she's way into it and totally calm when he starts pulling her into the. When he pulled her into the Playtronics or whatever place, I'm like, I would be freaking out.
Yeah,
right. They caught you. But yeah, she didn't really seem to mind. The two scenes that I really love are when they figure out what the black box does, and they start going through like, you want to crash some planes or do this or black out the Eastern Seaboard. Like I just remember that vividly and still think that held up well. And we said there isn't a government on the planet that wouldn't kill us all for that box.
Yeah.
And then I forget what the other one was, so we'll come back to it. But but like there were just
everything to do.
Just a bunch of them. Like I think there was a lot of like a lot to like, a lot of scenes that like were very original that that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, I feel like you said, this one has a big nostalgia play because when we grew up and when it came out, and just watching them like spy on Donald Logue. When he's in his office.
I know. I was like, is that Donald Logue? Really,
right?
Really thin with long hair?
Yeah. And they're like looking in the video camera that they posted up, and then they're like, oh, he can't watch. Like River Phoenix, like, no, this isn't for you. And then like Sidney Poitier goes over there, and Robert Redford goes over. And then also like them going through and like mapping out the location. Like once they figure out where the building's at. And they had like the directional mic. He's like, oh, that's
that was
a
great too.
Or that's
the other
stairwell.
The other scene that I love is the one where he starts to figure out that they went over a bridge, and he's like, what did you hear? I just love that. The cocktail party. Love that whole thing. And again, it's David Strathairn being great, and just the concept of he has such good hearing. And that's just uses his blindness as a strength,
right?
Well, it amplifies his hearing.
And yet, I was, for better or worse, he crushed one scene in a movie, and Stephen Tobolowsky, Ned Ryerson,
that's when how many years after this was Groundhog Day? It's probably only a few, right?
I mean, that's what I see him.
Like it's 94, 96, right?
This was 92.
Groundhog Day?
Sneakers is 92. Groundhog Day is...
But he's that guy, he's one of those guys.
93.
Oh,
93. So just 1 year later. Yeah, but he's like, I knew it was coming. I didn't remember it, but just when he goes, like, we're going to have breakfast with me, I'm like, he's going to say something about Stephen Albert. Like, do you want me to call you or nudge you? Like, oh, buddy, no, terrible line, dude.
I did not see that coming, and I was like, "Whoa!"
And that's the giveaway, right? Like, wait, a computer matched these two? No way.
Which that was an interesting way to connect it and make it work through it all. But the movie we just did a couple weeks ago, did you see the Touch of Evil?
Yes.
Reference?
Yes. Did you guys notice that?
Charlton
See?
But did you catch the
People
detail
love it.
there in that scene?
It was the one where they were planting the evidence.
Yeah, they were talking about there was nothing in the box.
And
I just looked in the box. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I was going to ask about. Never mind. I lost it again. I don't know. My mind's not there.
Who is this version of Martin?
So I think it was fun and interesting just to see like Marty's plan. Like once he got his whole thing going, the whole time he wanted to shift the power balance, right, by hacking certain bank accounts or things like that. And then they kind of still played that forward, even at the end where they're like, oh, the Republican National the RNC like lost all their funding, and now like all these different charitable organizations had like record donations from anonymous sources. Again, like that whole, Fight Club, like balance out the power, take everybody back down to zero, or just take, Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor. But yeah, so what did you think of Mother's conspiracies?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, they seem very tame now, right? Like, he was all spouting off all this crazy shit, and now people like believe much weirder stuff and like much more vehemently. So
the whole like JFK's not dead, like the NSA shot him, and he's like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, mother definitely would have ventured into Q at some point, but
right. He's
at the
about
time
QAnon.
was to Martin's point was tame on the scale.
Yeah,
I remember I was going to ask. So the whole concept of fake bank robbers in the beginning, like, didn't we see that in another movie? Was that in Italian Job or something? Or who was the other group that like?
So in the Italian Job, she's the safe cracker.
Yeah, but she's doing it for
the police.
For the police, yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
that kind of reminded me. So they're breaking into banks
to test the
security system. So I'm like, where have we seen this before? Where you're not, it opens up and they're in the middle of a heist, and it's an Italian Job where she's cracking the safe, and then you're like, oh, she got in there, and then she hands it off to the people. That's her business is cracking into safes for other people to make sure their security is okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, another movie that's pulled from this.
And then when she's like, "It's a living," and he's like, "Not a very good one."
Right. Looks at the check. That check had to be not too shabby, I would think, right? I would think you would take a good amount of money for that.
You would think it would have cost, or it would have paid well enough
in the
that
six figures.
It wouldn't have been considered by anyone to be like not a very good living.
That's right. That's what I would think. That's not a $4,000 check.
Plus, where they're staying in San Francisco, like that's the other thing I laughed at was like her 2-story apartment in San Francisco was like, what does she do? Because she's got to be.
Oh, this is a while ago though. This might have been pre
San Francisco boom,
pre-boom, pre-tech boom. When
maybe it was in the Tenderloin. Who knows?
Playtronics was out there. The tech boom was starting.
It's a private road.
Private property.
It was like it took them way too long to figure out that that's probably where it was.
It's a massive
it's like, oh, there's nothing there. It's just private property. That's what it is.
That was a little bit like, wait, what?
But I don't know at all. And definitely a part that I didn't compute when I was a kid, when he says to the through the microphone when they're doing the whole thing, and he's like, just say what I say, and he's like, and give him head whenever he wants. I had no idea what head was when I was 10. And I'm like, what did they say?
Redford comes so close and give him help him
whenever he needs it. I laughed out loud. I would have done a spit take if I was drinking something. It was real good, especially because they're just giggling about it in the van.
Right, and he's trying to like make it not confusing, not like he's listening to somebody just spit in his ear. He's like, I know it sounds confusing that you don't know that I know that you know that I don't know, but don't let her know and don't let him know.
Well, you know. Did you guys see the in the very beginning? At the beginning prank, the facade of that building was the famous Hill Valley Clock Tower.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I missed that one.
Save the clock tower.
You think about it, too. It's like, obviously, especially back then, there's so many scenes and such.
Yeah, and sound stages.
Sets being used repeatedly for things. So it's like, oh, yeah, just use the facade really quick and move on.
And then did you get the callback to In the Heat of the Night?
I wasn't sure, but when he said it so forcefully and it's Sidney Poitier, then I knew it was from something.
When he calls him Midnight, when he's got him like up on the hill.
I've never seen it.
He's like, YouTube Midnight. Get out of the car.
I saw that, but I just figured that was just being racist.
Yeah,
and then he seemed to take offense to it, which made sense. But then it was. I guess it all. I feel like not knowing it's still all checked out for me.
Yeah, I mean. That's pretty much the.
But what was the reference? Sorry, it was his name Midnight or something? Or
that's what they called him in the Heat of the Night.
Okay.
When he goes to become a cop in like Alabama or Mississippi,
somewhere, yeah.
Like in the.
Gotcha.
It's very, very racially tinged.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like I said, this was after I got done watching it. I was like, that was fun. Like, there's not a ton to it, and I don't expect to learn millions of things from it. But like you can see, we did find some similarities to movies that were that we enjoy and that have come after it. But it was just a fun movie. It was just like, hey, watch this, had a good time, and that's what I remember the most about it, and loved it, and probably why I have it down in my basement bin.
Yeah, it's like exactly. Yeah, it's a good bargain bin. It's hard. It's probably hard for me to like recommend it to everybody, but if you're a movie fan, this is definitely one of those that I would say like it's a underrated, kind of hidden gem kind of a thing where if you hadn't seen it, you might enjoy it.
I feel like it's just a pretty Turner to Bishop to Robert Muir it's just like a standard. This is him. He just walked this line through his life, and it all makes sense.
Yeah, get by on your looks, Sundance.
He was reading books in the beginning of his tenure with the CIA. He ended up in a hacking situation for a while, and then eventually he's retiring, and he's the smartest guy in the room. Yeah. Tell me this doesn't make sense.
But yeah, I think the Robert Redford spy trifecta is a really solid 3 movies to watch.
Yeah.
By any means.
As always, thanks for listening as well as a blind man. Please follow us on Insta, Twitter, and Facebook, and feel free to hack the Republican Party and have them donate $25,000 to the Black Panthers. Thanks, and go to bed.
Fuck yeah.